Kratz on the case.
Wow. We don't do it often, but when we need our lawyer involved, Eric Kratz gets the call. He's on the case.
I am on the case.
Okay, so here's the article. America drinking less than ever, and the same is true for baseball players. I am going to rely on others because I like a good adult beverage. So a lot of this article did not resonate with me when they were talking about the general public, but when they were talking about baseball players, it is something that I've seen for years now. Baseball players, and this was the article in Yahoo written by Jake Mintz. Baseball players are having less drank and having more cannabis, edibles, whatever. That was part of it. Way less going out, way less. And that's been a thing, you know, when you come across them and they're like, oh, the baseball guys, they party hard, right? I'm like, they used to. Now it stands out like a sore thumb when you have the guy in the clubhouse who's hitting the streets pretty frequently. In fact, the article went over how Derek Jeter would go out frequently, and he spoke about it in the last couple of years on some interviews. And they said they were trying to think about the last player that was really hitting the town frequently, and that was getting publicity for it. Do you know the name they brought up in the article?
Recently? Bad publicity?
I mean, there were some moments where it wasn't good. Yeah. But just knowing that there was a guy who was really hitting the town, taking advantage of being in a big market, Matt Harvey. Do you know any names since that where you'd be like, oh, this guy's going out all the time? That's the last one.
I mean, C.J. Abrams got in trouble last year. For
yeah, but not to me, not the same. It would be like, oh, Harvey's out. He's at this club. He's at that club. He's with this person. He's, you know, there were some lateness issues, stuff like that, right? Not showing up.
That was a star, too. That was a star.
Superstar.
It faded because when you get older, we don't have greenies anymore in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Greenies used to be the thing that guys would go. They'd go out. It was a bad cycle. And I saw it even when I was in the game and they got rid of greenies in 2006. Guys would go out. They would drink for a decent amount of time. They'd come back. They'd sleep. They'd go to the game. They're like, ooh, I am feeling it a little bit. Whether they were 23 or 33, pop a greenie, bang-a-rang for the game. Now it's 12 o'clock at night, and they're like this, laying in bed. Can't blink. Like Pete Fairbanks on the mound, like no blinking, because that greenie's still running through your body. So then you go and you have a little bit more to drink that night. The next day, it's a cycle that just kept going. And we know so much more about nutrition now. Not saying that alcohol is completely bad for your nutrition or, you know, in moderation,
yeah,
it's there. But when you're talking about partying, dudes, it's a year-round thing being a big league player. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was, well, I'm going to spring training to get my body ready to go. And when the season's over, I'm probably not going to pick up a bat or a ball, and I'll figure it out in spring training. Now, it's nutrition. You have dietitians, you have cooks, you have stuff, and their guys are changing how they go about things, how they go about their health and nutrition. And it talks about in this article, it talks about cherry juice. Cherry juice has been in there since I was playing, and I've been out for 5 years, like hammering cherry juice for anti-inflammatory purposes. Everything is about anti-inflammatory. There's blood tests that you can take that will tell you, hey, you know what, your body is allergic, not like allergic, like deathly allergic, but allergic to stuff like, I played with a guy, a pitcher, always had chronic shoulder issue. Took this blood test, found out he was allergic to salmon and broccoli. He's like, dude, he was one of the most healthy people ever. Starter, 5 days in, like he was always on top of everything. Found out salmon and broccoli were causing inflammation. Shoulder pain, completely gone.
Wow.
That kind of stuff that's where we're at in the game, and that's where I'm fortunate that I played during this era where you could learn this stuff, and my body feels great after playing. And I wasn't even a very good player. But availability is the best ability. And all this stuff, all this health stuff helps so much.
Need ability for sure.
But I'm saying I joke about it all the time. I didn't have the ability that Todd had. I didn't have the ability. There's a reason I hit 209 in the big leagues, whether it's the fact that, you know, I didn't play a lot, or was it the fact that I just wasn't as good as the other guys? You have to be available to play, and the stars have that extra money to be able to put into their nutrition.
FT fam, let's talk about Fair Harbor. And if you're listening, I hope that you watch this conversation at some point because we're doing show and tell, Kratz. Shorts, they can be used as a bathing suit. And the liner, which we call butter, is the game breaker. It's the playmaker because it's different.
You've worn shorts that are not like this, and the liner sucks. They are buttery on your butt.
I just came up with something for them. Your liner sucks. Get Fair Harbor liner. Seriously, give it a shot. I'm not just saying this. The butter analogy plays. And FT fam, you know we're hooking you up. So head over to fairharborclothing.com/foul20. Yes, that's FOUL 20 for 20% off your order. Once again, that's fairharborclothing.com/FOUL20 for 20% off. And make sure you use that promo code FOUL20.
Todd, you played for the Mets, and they're mentioned a lot in here just because they refer to the 80s Mets and then they talk about the current Mets. The article starts by talking about how there's like this little mini fridge and it's got some beers and it barely gets touched. And for the most part, the guys hit up the cherry juice, the smoothies, the protein shakes. And then I don't know if this was a Met or someone else, but one multi-time All-Star told them in the article, it's become a European style of drinking where it's like, I'm going to have something to enjoy it. And it's not to get drunk to go out and raise hell because you can't do that. And later in the article, they talk about even Ron Darling's book and how he said that hitters would shotgun beers at certain times during games. He said they'd time it so that they were due to hit third or fourth that inning. And in their minds, the rush of beer would kind of jumpstart the amphetamines and get back to how they were feeling early on in the game. Pumped, jacked, good to go. 80s Mets were a movie.
But that's the thing. That's why they would do that. Like, don't gloss over the fact. Like, the amphetamine starts wearing off, and so when you hit the alcohol, it gives you another jump start, and you're in the 7th, 8th inning.
Yep.
And you're banging ready to go.
Rally beers, they called them.
They did.
At least I called them that.
No, they were.
Did, yeah. But this was revolving around greenies because it was essentially a performance enhancer.
I never did it to enhance myself. I got thrown out of a game or something, and I would we're down 3 runs. I need a rally. Have some rally beers to get those 3 runs.
Todd's
back.
not saying he drank when he was in the game.
No, never.
Get thrown out of the game.
I never did. I wouldn't even think about doing that, honestly.
No.
But
it was a different time.
It was a different time. Yeah, for sure. You know, you had pitchers that weren't pitching that day. Need a rally beer. Let's go up and get one down. And next thing you know, we won the game. No, it didn't happen all the time. It was just a figure of speech for certain things. But yes.
Teams are going through it. You ask a Met player right now, they're going through it. They've lost 5 straight, I think, or 6 straight. I'm not sure. I'm sure it's talked about.
Yep.
Because there's guys that don't do anything. You're sitting on the bench and you're like, I am not getting in this game. Or I just walked in my 1 pinch hit appearance and now I'm out and I'm sitting on the bench. Anything to get the boys going because you don't feel like you have any control over what's going on the field.
Famous 04 Red Sox in the documentary, everyone do a shot. You know, you could see that.
Yep.
There are a lot of instances, yeah. But the point here is now it's video games, it's edibles. That's what the guys do. There's a lot more hiding in the hotel rooms, going home. The other portion of this story was exactly that. They asked guys why they don't go out, and they said phone. And they said phone for 2 reasons. One, they don't want people capturing stuff and putting it on, even if it's nothing. They just don't want them to be shown out at night because people. And then the next day, if they don't hit well, it's because they went out to a bar and had a couple beers. And then also, some of them mentioned how there was one story in there how they celebrated after a postseason series, and they said everyone's just putting phones and faces at them, and they're like, that's not even a fun experience. So I want to party privately.
Yeah, and it's something to connect. Social media and stuff is to connect to players. But when it's done like that, my one buddy had a big hit in Pittsburgh, day game, went to the bar right across the street, got there, served him a nice cold beer, and he's sitting like this on the phone. Somebody posted the picture of him like this, passed out, said so-and-so is passed out at the bar hour and a half after the game. Wonder what he was doing. So he had to go into the front office. He goes, I'm never going out again. I'm never going out again near the field. It was just like it was a day game in Pittsburgh. Like,
And he's looking down, so it looks like his eyes are closed.
100%. He's
That's
sitting
ridiculous.
just like this,
Nasty, bro.
and his phone was below the bar, and he's like this, so it looks like he's hammered.
Yeah. I want one player now to just be the guy. He just goes out. He just is proud of it, and he's one of the studs. And he's like, "Yeah, you got a problem with that?"
No.
As long as he's, he's behaving. He's not getting arrested or anything. But he's
won't
just like, "Hey, I'm hitting the town a couple times a week." No, none of them do it.
It won't happen.
No.
It won't happen. The best players in the game hit below 300. They're hitting 290. That means you're getting out 7 out of 10 times. As soon as you go 0 for 4 and you're posting that stuff, the team is going to come to you. The team strength coach, assistant strength coach, trainers, dietitians, all this stuff. Don't even pull a hammy and somebody sees you drinking. Oh, he's dehydrated. Doesn't
Nobody-
care.
Even in other sports, they don't really go out anymore. It's the phones, man, the videos. You can't get away with nothing just to
Yeah.
go and have a drink at a bar after a game because you're struggling. Like, oh, look who's at the bar here. You know what I mean? Like
The other sports go out more than
it's
baseball, though.
terrible.
They go
Jeter-
out more than baseball now.
Jeter
Football,
finished
basketball, and hockey, they all go out more than baseball. That's a
They
fact.
have off days.
They have off days. That's true.
So
Hey,
don't give baseball
six
players
of
off
them.
days. Don't
Yeah.
shorten the schedule
Yeah,
and give them more
exactly.
off days.